How's it going, everybody? Nathaniel from RCInsight here, and today I am reviewing the Perplexus Lightspeed. This is a very interesting Perplexus, probably one of the most unique to date. Not that that is necessarily a good thing, as we will talk about. And yeah, it's very, very different. For those of you who are looking for an explanation as to how this Perplexus actually works, I'm not really going to get into detail about that in this video. I'm going to do a separate video explaining how to use this Perplexus, how to work it, how to play it. But I will say that this Perplexus is different in the sense that this is kind of like a time trials Perplexus as opposed to the traditional maze challenge. So like I said, I'll make a separate video on how you actually operate that. But this is an entirely different Perplexus with an entirely different objective. So briefly explaining what it is, there's two starting points, one on each end here, and you click the button and it starts a time trial. And anyway, you have to get to these colored sections before the timer expires, and you see how many you can do in a row, more or less. So it's pretty much like a race. You're just trying to race as quickly as you can through the obstacles without falling off to reach the certain objectives, and you just keep going. And so this is unique in a couple ways. There's no end point on this. Well, first, actually, let's talk about the shape of this Perplexus. It's totally different from anything else we've ever seen. This kind of like oblong shape is not cylindrical at all. I do not like the shape. I do not like how this feels in your hands, and it's really heavy because this entire center part is not even usable. It's just a big electronics ball for the timer and stuff. And so really not a fan of a lot of what we see in this set. But then about the course, this is a loop. There is no start and end point. This is an infinite loop. You can go around the whole thing infinitely. You keep going, you keep going. So in my walkthrough, which I'll link in the description, I merely just show you how to complete all the obstacles in a loop. There's no start to end. And that's pretty much it, because again, the point is to get to these four colored sections as quick as you can to race the timer and see, how many sections you can complete before you fall off or you run out of time. So that is how the game works. That is the objective. Like I said, no start and end. In terms of unique obstacles, again, there's nothing really here that we haven't seen before. I mean, really, I don't even think there's like a spiral section here. There's this interesting section here where you come up, you can only go through it one way here, and you kind of like hop over the barrier and then hop over the barrier, but it's not as much of an obstacle as it is just a way of preventing you from going the reverse up that course. You have that spiral section, you've got the flip sections here for the way these colored areas work. Those are a little bit challenging and a little bit different and unique. There's kind of this one wall mini downhill stair section here, and a mini butterfly section as well. And that's really all there is in terms of unique obstacles in here. Like there's not a lot of track here, period. Like this is a very short Perplexus. I would argue that it's probably the smallest Perplexus, despite its size. The amount of track that's actually going through here and the fact that there's no start to end, I think this really is the smallest, most least interesting Perplexus that we have gotten to date. The Draco might give it a run for its money there. But I'm really, really not a fan of this Perplexus. I think it's poorly designed. I don't like the shape. I don't like the weight. And it's just not that interesting or fun. The obstacles aren't that great, and the timed feature isn't that great either. So, yeah, guys, that's my overall thoughts on this Perplexus. Not a really long review because there's not really anything to talk about here. As like I said, I don't like it very much. I explained why. I'll make a separate video explaining how to use this if you do have it. But if you are looking to buy Perplexus, I do not recommend getting this. And unless you're a collector, I don't think there's any point in purchasing it, period. Like, if you're looking for something, a new Perplexus challenge, don't buy this. And really, I don't see any reason for any Perplexus fan to buy this, period, unless they just want to collect all the Perplexus sets, in which case that's understandable. But really, nothing here of note. Like, there's not even checkpoints because it's a loop, right? So, yeah, that's kind of my feelings towards the Perplexus Lightspeed. I wish I liked it more. It's a cool concept, I think, but the execution here is just lacking on several levels. And so Maybe they'll revisit it and do it better. I know the original Perplexus did have a timed component, and so I think it can be done right if they think about it and do it properly. But this is not done right, and so that is rather unfortunate. I will leave it at that, guys. If you like this video, click the like button down below to show your support. Subscribe so that you can get more Perplexus content as soon as it comes out, whether that's reviews, walkthroughs, covering new Perplexus sets when they're released, all that. Subscribe so that you can see it right away. And with all that said, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.